I know this trend is pretty old, but I am going to be criticizing a Doom review that sucks booty cheeks. So, yeah. Some of these would be stated by, like, things from Ween's video, so go check them out on YouTube.
9 out of 10. Tech Radar.
If you did not know, that door would automatically open, which means you haven't passed Cultist Base yet, which means you can't go through that door.
9 out of 10. IGN.
To walk backwards, and go back to the crystal thingy, and then it should work again.
94 out of 100. PC Gamer.
Again, like I said, you're not going to be able to get through that door if you haven't beat Cultist Base yet.
9.5 out of 10. PlayStation Universe.
Again, like I said, the crystals. Walk backwards and walk back to it again, and then it should work.
5 out of 5. The Guardian.
There's these things called Sentinel batteries, where you put into the little ports, and then you can unlock the skin.
5 out of 5. Digital Spy.
Did you know you have to beat every Slayer gate in the game, which is 6 of them, get all the Empyrean keys so you can get the Unmaker? It's for the skilled players. And obviously you aren't one, because, well, you literally tried getting the Unmaker without even trying to do anything at all.
2 out of 14. 21 kiloton.
That is just absurd. 2 out of 14. Out of 14. Most of them are like out of 10, or like in percentages like that other one, which was like 94%. 2 out of 14. Out of 14.
Welcome to Doom Eternal. It's an overpriced puzzle game with guns.
Notice how Doom is $60? That's like about the normal price of a Call of Duty game, or a AAA game, like Elden Ring, which you gave that review very positive.
And not that much ammunition.
There is a lot of ammunition. You're just not using it correctly. The chainsaw that you just used in that clip is used for getting ammo. That one's not that hard. All you have to do is double jump, shoot the button thingy, and then dash 2 times. That's all. I'm just gonna skip all this. Yes, subscribe to this man for some epic content. Hating on a good game for horrible points.
Content warning. Some viewers may find the dreadful gameplay footage in this video deeply upsetting.
Yes, indeed, upsetting.
Viewer discretion is advised. Trigger warning. This video contains extensive criticism of this shithouse overpriced game. If opinions different from your own are going to hurt your fifis, then find a teat to suckle on, clutch your teddy bear tight to your own man titties, and go and find some unboxing videos to watch.
No, because that's what a toddler would do. That's what a toddler would do.
Consider yourself warned, fanboys.
I'm not a fanboy. I just think your review is just very bad.
Or fangirls. I'm not sexist.
Why would you need to bring that up? That's just stupid. No one cares at all. It's just a meaning for like a fan. Like a big fan.
Honestly, I don't know if they paid off a lot of reviewers.
If they paid off a lot of the reviewers, they're probably gonna get a lot of backlash for it. See how people are enjoying the game?
Besides, last time I checked, being good at video games did not make me more attractive to women.
Last time I checked, being a YouTuber doesn't make you more attractive to women.
A quick look at the history of the Doom franchise.
No. How about no? We already know what the history of Doom is. Right here, the gameplay, I am playing the original Doom, 1993.
There is definitely a historic pre- and post-Doom era of video game development. The original Doom was ahead of the curve, whereas Doom Eternal is the exact opposite. It's so generic, derivative and frankly safe that it's far behind the curve and fails to be original and groundbreaking. It's like fucking Boeing getting up in the morning tomorrow and announcing they're going to make a biplane.
Out of all things you compare it to a biplane.
Nothing wrong with that. I like biplanes too, especially flash ones with lots of fancy gadgets. But it's still the wrong fucking century to be banging them out of the factory en masse.
They're not banging them en masse. Bethesda only made 2 Doom games, which were 4 years apart.
Bethesda used to be famous for great games.
Bethesda didn't really have anything to do with Doom. They just own id, and they just slapped their logo on the cover art.
Into this maelstrom of recycled IP, Bethesda now releases yet another Doom sequel. Personally, I think they have been inspired by Activision releasing a new Call of Duty every year and thought, hey, why don't we crank out a new iteration of Doom regularly?
There's only been 2 Doom games published by Bethesda, which were 4 years apart, just like I said the other time.
It was 4 years since the last passable Doom bowel movement. And mark my words, the next Doom title will be along much sooner than that. So what is Doom Eternal exactly? Doom Eternal is the single and multiplayer, vaguely playable, always online asset flip of Dooms of late, only with super light RPG character progression and a little base camp where you can keep your dollies.
Doom Eternal isn't always online. You just turn on offline mode on Steam or wherever you're playing on. And no one wants RPG progression. Also, don't hate on collectibles. They're the best thing in Doom Eternal. And it's not an asset flip. They cannot flip assets to a new engine. They're using id Tech 7, and Doom 2016 was on id Tech 6.
It's a Doom game using Doom assets, where they try to be a little bit different with the doominess.
Again, you cannot reuse models in a new engine.
It is vaguely what it says on the tin. In fact, the only thing shocking about the tin is that it says 50 fucking quid on it. And
that's just a normal price for a typical first-person shooter. One time, I was in school, right, in math, and someone said, Black Ops 2 is expensive because it's $60. And I said, that's like the typical game. And he said, but Madden's $15. You cannot compare a sports game to an FPS game.
they want an additional 25 fucking quid for everything in the tin, and another 25 quid for the year 1 DLC pass.
It's optional. You don't have to buy the deluxe collectors are the year one pass. It is optional. You do not have to buy it.
I'm going to assume you are way ahead of me here when I boldly assert that it is not worth £100 for the whole game.
Again, you do not have to pay for all that. It is optional. It's not like you cannot play the game without buying those. It's id, not EA.
It's great that it does what it says on the tin, but for £100, even if Emma Appleton jumped out of said tin when I opened it and gave me a fucking blowjob right there, afterwards I would still expect there to be a game in the tin as part of the deal.
There is a game in the tin, you just don't like it.
Fucking repeat. There is a PvP multiplayer battle mode, which I did not play.
Then you really shouldn't be talking about it.
Basically, you get to pick a side and go 3-on-3 as either a slayer or a demon.
It's 2v1.
I'm sure it's positively lovely,
It's pretty ass.
but probably worthy of a separate dedicated review, preferably made by someone who actually gives a fuck about Doom PvP, because let's face it, most of us don't. We bought this for the campaign and the single player, and that is both tiresome and frustrating in equal measure. Graphics, sound and functionality. It's definitely not high drain on the old graphics hamster wheel. Running it on a slightly above average system, I could clearly see all of the flying eyeballs and cookie cutter recycled game assets on my screen.
Again, you cannot recycle assets from another engine to another. Look, I'll give you some examples. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they look different.
But the sound effects were very pleasant. Like someone grabbed a bag of guns, a baseball bat, a claw hammer and a microphone and went down to their local cooperative coffee shop.
He basically said they're good. Finally, something positive from this game.
The key rebinding was very straightforward and unproblematic, which is frankly quite rare these days, in these days of cheap console ports. But let's keep this in perspective. This is a game with no crouch or reload. It's not exactly a tactical shooter.
With Doom, no one expects a crouch or a reload. That's why people were pretty thrown off with Doom 3 with crouching and reloading. No one really expects crouch or reloading from a Doom game. No one wants those in a Doom game.
I just about managed to find all 4 of the important keys and rebind them. Move forward, jump, shoot and melee. But you could probably rebind the controls onto a tracker ball and a giant red buzzer without significantly impeding the quality of the experience. So what about the NPCs? There were some. There were the big floaty around things.
Those are called cacodemons.
The spider things.
That's an arachnotron.
The piss weak things and those dicks that keep running at you. Apparently, they are each susceptible to different types of weapon attacks. If I had actually had any fucks to give about learning the game, I possibly could have figured out how this mechanic works.
Then why are you reviewing the game if you're not going to learn how it's played? Ain't that what reviewers are supposed to do?
But thankfully I didn't. I just pretty much worked my way down through the weapons in turn, running out of ammo sequentially, and then occasionally chainsawing or glory killing some arse-tard for the resupply drops. You know, because that is the game loop, basically. Run out of ammo, melee someone, curse under your breath, rinse and repeat, until either the game finishes or you run out of sedatives.
He's acting like it's hell. You're gonna survive. It's not even that bad of a game. Chill out.
Well, let's talk about the fuckery. Well, it's too fucking expensive. Seriously, £100 for the whole game with all the glass beads and woolen blankets included.
Again, it's optional.
They put those weekly challenges in Wolfenstein Youngblood.
But Wolfenstein Youngblood sucked. What is your point?
Averagely well-made asset flip from people with lots of experience making Doom games.
How many times do I have to mention you cannot get 3D models from a previous engine to a new engine? It's impossible.
Soften them up, then punch them. That classic Black Ops technique of equipping your soldiers with a huge array of the highest tech ranged weapons imaginable, but then ordering them to only dispatch their wounded enemies with a fucking punch in the kisser. Here is the story and level design. You get put in a level, you solve a puzzle, you kill everything. Some bad dude grumbles at you for giving him a boo-boo. There is no fucking story.
Ah yes, just by looking at this game, there is no story.
Unless of course you consider the writing on the back of a bottle of bleach as constituting a story. In fairness, if you sit on the shitter reading the label on a bottle of bleach and when you're finished you say, "Oh wow, that was a gripping story," then, you know, I think you are probably going to love the narrative in Doom Eternal.
I guess I like reading the labels on bleach.
Because it will be the best story you've heard all week. But for most humans, they probably won't even notice the game has a story. There were lots of integrated puzzle-style things that you had to complete to navigate through levels and get past obstructions. They pissed me off. The platforming sections of the game, frankly, were at times annoying and eventually became absolutely fucking insanely annoying as all fucking fuck. Here is a quick masterclass in first-person shooter level design, where the player power fantasy is being a one-man bollock-hard death machine. If you are really determined to absolutely fuck that up with 100% clarity, then introduce platform puzzles where the player will die 10 to 20 times in a fucking row trying to jump like fucking Mario from one dickless platform to another. What the actual fucking shitlord are they thinking?
The platforming isn't even that bad. I wouldn't normally die 20 to 10 times. And if I did, I would be very embarrassed.
If I wanted to play a platformer, I would have bought George of the Jungle and the Search for the Secret, saved myself £97.50, and had a lot more fun in the process.
If you have more fun and save more money from playing that, then go play it. Just stop doing your review, because obviously you have stupid points in them, and just play that game then, if you want to play a platformer.
It's fucking Portal! Now sure, perhaps I'm having a hard time with this game because, as you can see from the footage, I am tragically bad at this kind of mechanic.
That's why you should stop doing your review in general, and it's not Portal, it's Doom Eternal.
But I would retort, being shit at it is not my problem.
No, it is your problem.
The in-game weaponry was basically there. I wasn't really feeling the weapon porn at all. In fact, it was less weapon porn and more like the underwear section of your nan's catalogue.
Bro, what? Okay, I am losing so much brain cells from this video. I will probably see you guys in the next video on YouTube. Goodbye.